God has done will remain forever. There is nothing to add to it, nothing to take from it. God has done this so that men should be in.
It's just so arrogant the way we live our lives. You know, we're constantly right on the edge of existence and nothing, and we live in total disrespect of that.
It was the stress he hated, feeling like he couldn't clean up the mess he created. A topic best left less debated, told to be less abrasive. His wife suggested sensory deprivation. Shimbit told us method's supposed to be the safest. He went in for a single session, felt a tingle present from the standing hairs in the back of his fingers, stressing his playing a wrinkled expression in the waiting room. The attendant bilingually addressed him. She walked him to a vacant room. He hid the fact that he'd be shaken soon. She had a few steps she had to take him through, so he listened like a patient do, but he didn't want to wait, it's true. He entered the vest in the center, like an unborn child in a warm medium nestled placenta. His mind wrestled with this adventure. Before he knew it, he fought less than he meant to. Without any immediate influence, he stood above the trestle with the inventor. God give, God take, God give, God take, God give, God take, God give, God take. His spiritual soul, his stress has taken a physical fall. He saw it all, how negative energies combine in cyclical scorn along elliptical horns, to how the residuals born, sobbing naked loneliness, blaring digital porn. He felt how the miserable mourn, saw the weathered faces the drizzle had worn. After what felt like an eternity, he grew sick of the norm of being cynical and withdrawn. The sharp teeth of ridicule bit off his arm, but he picked up the pieces exuding a critical calm. For the first time in his life, he was able to rise up and fight. Became one with the science of sight, revealed onto him the giant of light, full of vibrance but right then and there. Tremor caused equated a shake, created a quake, crushed him under the weight of the place. We heard he lost both his legs later that way, alone in a coma later for days. But I guess the Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away. God give, God take, God give, God take, God give, God take. They had been trying to conceive for months. He started drinking more than his wife, even though he didn't need as much. How he longed for a son he could just feed and touch. Sat there thinking of all the things that he could teach him of. Doctor said he's congenitally sterile, and even though he was strong, mentally virile, he was devastated, leaned to a long, eventually peril, crushed depression. Didn't say much in confession, his heart was touched in aggression and overstuffed with repression. You'd say it was borderline if you ever saw his mind, the type shared by the tortured kind, living in distorted time. He was up at unusual hours, obsessing over some delusional powers. It seems he was confused and foul, making it through the stress, doing his best, but the bourbon stains that ruined his vest continued to fuel the flames that grew in his chest. Take, God give, God take, God give, God take, God give, God take. It had now been over 3 years since they began trying to conceive. Felt like his unborn seed was just dying to breathe. Frustrated at work, clenching his tie in his teeth. Struggling to make his quota, he had to lie and deceive. Another late night, spilled the rye on his sleeve. Reckless abandon, driving home, trying to weave. When he was alone, he would cry and just grieve. He worked for a family man who kept his eye on his cheese. Promised her a getaway, they had seen better days. She assured him that she loved him, that love would never stray. He made a fatal mistake, initiated a head-on collision. Medics thought he was dead on a mission, instead he fell in remission. Luckily he lost one of his eyes instead of his vision. Woke up to his wife sitting next to his bed with the glisten, with tears in her eyes. She was married with a smile as she told him she was now carrying his child.
I guess one way or another, we're all God's children.